Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you hadn't had every Sacramaniac, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the sponsor of this channel, Tactical Elites. If you bought a new weapons optic and you want to zero your optic, go to tacticalelites.com. Use HB10 as a discount code and make sure you grab one of those. Also, shout out to the patrons. The patrons are the reason why I did this morning's video, man. I got to remember, you guys are sponsoring this channel. You guys want to hear what I have to say, so stay tuned for a well-deserved shout-out at the end. This episode right here, man, sponsored by Hector Nietzsche Bravo. Yeah, I consider myself a modern-time philosopher. Why? Because I've observed human behavior for the last 40 years, man, and wow, it's something. The old guard versus the new guard, okay? The old correctional officers' way of thinking, moving, and behaving and experience, I would consider myself part of the old guard mentality. All right, listen, I'm going to break it down for you guys, Crayola style, versus the new guard, the baristas. No disrespect. I'm going to have to say no disrespect a lot because I'm not going to punch downwards. I'm not going to take cheap shots. I'm going to call it as it is. I'm not going to stereotype a whole classification, but you got to understand the difference between the old guard and the new guard. Hector, we got it. Crayola style. All right. This motherfucking episode right here, man. La verga. The old guard, myself, I started at Centinela State Prison. I touched down in 2007. All right. Those old guards were the 1990s guards. They started in 1991, 1992, 1993. Now, don't get me wrong. There was still those that started in the 80s, for sure. But the ones that were in the 90s were the ones that mentored me, took me under their wing, so to say. I want to give a shout out to all of them. They know who they are. It was the vast majority. And they would talk, man. When you get that downtime, when you're on the yard, Charlie Yard, level 4 GP killers, when you're standing in front of Charlie 2, when you're standing right there by Charlie Gym, we're talking, right? Hey, youngster, what would you do right now if you saw 2 inmates stabbing another one right there by the handball court? What would your radio call sound like? Oh, it would sound like this. Central Control, be advised, I have a code 1, 2-on-1 on the handball courts, Charlie Yard, with weapons. Pretty good, youngster, pretty good, right? Or if you didn't know how to say it, they'd school you. Hey, man, get it out clearly. Calm down, relax. Don't let inmates walk behind you, all right? All these lessons, I'm telling you, all these lessons were learned in blood, okay? I'm gonna explain something to you guys right now because fuck what administration says and fuck what the California model is. People are acting and saying like the California model is good and that it's working. What 72 murders means it's not working. But that, hey, the old guard were just beating up inmates, not talking to them. That's not the case at all, man. At Centinela, I sat back and I watched these OG cops have interactions and conversations with inmates. And I was even intrigued, like, oh, man, how are they able to talk like that? Right? My communication skills weren't fucking non-existent. How are they able to like just communicate like that, right? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Jones? How's everything? All right, cool. I mean, not much was said, but enough to develop a rapport. That's for damn sure. There were some COs that'll get away with name calling, and that was just their get down, and the inmates respected it and understood it and laughed. Everybody thought it was hilarious, right? Prison's a funny place like that. But the lessons learned in blood. Hey, Hector. Well, they wouldn't call me Hector, but for this scenario, hey, youngster, never let an inmate walk behind you, all right? You get your throat slashed. When I would be facing somebody, a CO OG, and he would say, hey, behind you. I look behind me, there's the inmate approaching, right? He didn't teach me to do that. I learned, oh shit, he's giving me the courtesy, the heads up that there's an inmate walking behind me, all right? I don't have to go into detail of why you shouldn't let inmates be behind you, all right? But I kind of do, which is fucking crazy and sad. So then the rest of my career, every time I'm talking to somebody, I see an inmate, hey, behind you, dude. And at Centinela, it made sense. People look, get out of the way, move, turn around. But at Donovan, I would tell them, hey, behind you. They look, yeah, whatever. So it varies from prison to prison, and it varies from experience to experience, right? Ultimately, I talk about experiences. You don't want to undergo trauma. You do not want to undergo it, right? Because now your brain is going to rewire itself through fight or flight. For instance, these new officers that are getting stabbed. Oh, and they're getting stabbed. They are getting stabbed, let me tell you. They now know the reality of prison. They now know it. Unfortunately, and fortunately for them, they're never going to return to work. I guarantee you, man. More so than not, the ones that I've seen really get fucked up do no longer return. Okay, not like in Calipat, 1993. You get all the COs and sergeants and lieutenants fucking stabbed by the East Coast Crips and Sureños, and they show up the next work with stitches, motherfucking neck braces. That breed is gone. That breed is dead. Motherfucker breaks a fingernail, you'll never see him again. So, yeah, the ones that are learning the lessons are gone. Now, who's remaining? Well, the ones that responded to the incident, right? If you've been a Code 1 responder to a major staff assault, attempted murder on a cop, now you fucking see the blood. There's nothing worse than seeing blood on a uniform. I'll tell you that much right now. Blood on an inmate, we learn to dehumanize that. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I'm just simply stating facts. Okay, it's how you perform your duties. It's how you detach so you don't get all fucked up mentally. Oh, and you will regardless. Those guys now know. So basically what I've come to understand is that this shit is coming full fucking circle the hard way, because you guys won't listen to reason. You're about to have a bunch of brand new fucking staff involved in a lot of traumatic injuries, yeah, and incidents. Now they will carry on those fucking memories, those lessons, and those experiences. Had they just listened the first fucking time around, right, you wouldn't have this bloodbath. Now, I'm not blaming the cops for getting stabbed. Do not read too much into this. I'm not blaming the cops for being stabbed. What I'm saying is, and I'm not a badass, but I was very, very well aware of my environment and my surroundings working in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Very aware, hyper aware, hyper vigilant. Okay, PTSD like a motherfucker, but it kept me alive. If I'm Hector Bravo and I'm a body, breathing, live flesh, and I'm walking through a yard, of course I could get stabbed. Of course. But why didn't I get stabbed? Well, thank the God I didn't get stabbed, right? Because that could have happened. Probably should have happened. A lot goes into it before you get stabbed, man. A lot goes into it. How you carry yourself. How you look at motherfuckers in the eyes, okay? And again, don't read too much into it. I'm not telling you to be rude, disrespectful, unprofessional, and get crazy with fucking inmates. That's another way you get stabbed. Basically, you're going to get stabbed any way you want. But carry yourself like a fucking professional. Understand your fucking environment. Do not listen to your administrators. Do not listen to your supervisors that have sold their fucking soul and are going to get you killed because they could care less about you. How do I know? Because I worked for Marcus Pollard and Raquel Buckle and everybody else during that chain of command, which none of them have been held liable. They didn't give two fucks about human life, let alone correctional officers' life. With that, love you guys. This episode was sponsored by the following patrons. How much time do I have in the books? Kahia Maniaco, Coach Manny, Timothy, Cynthia, It Is What It Is, Danny Fresh, Rescue Chick 70, Fatima, JP 6184, John Paps, Hopes and Promises, Scary Perry, Put a Work Order in, Jolene, Third Watch Desert Warrior, James, Kelly Fresh, Luis, Miguel, John Wick, Abuelita's Journey, Abuelita's Irma, Rodrigo Keep Pushing Forward, Giant Manhattan Pizza in Anaheim. Go check them out. Did I already say Fatima, JP 6184, John Paps, Hopes and Promises, Scary Perry, Put a Work Order in, Jolene, Third Watch Desert Warrior, James, Kelly Cash, Luis, Miguel, The Real Chit. Go check out The Real Chit, man. I'm fucking tired. I'm passing the torch to The Real Chit. I am tired. Real Chit. You got it from here, bro. I'm out. MC Counslip, Lena, Jeremy, Frank, Roberto, all you pedophiles pretending to be gangster, Ernie Castle 420, 89 made me, you're a long way from Starbucks, homie. Mugger, didn't I tell you, bitch? I told you were gonna get stabbed. I fucking told you, you stupid fucking asshole. Nobody listens to me. Well, they do now. Ali, Terry, Ramiro de Leon, The Hound, Miss R. Milkers, La Primera Play at Your Own Risk 209. Shout out to you, bro. A-Rod 310. Chris Lesniak. I don't know. I'm not the regular. Brian, the Lone Specialist. Big Shags at Westminster. Pachanga 209. Darlene from Santa Ana. VSP Eddie Sabatino. Earth, Blood, Operator. Adaberto, Mercenary Mindset. You got to have that mercenary mindset, man. Any reason I can't hold you? Fontaine, Dixon, McCrary. On to page number 2. Program time, carnalito, treatment not time. 1 round to the body, step left, 10 rounds to the head. Gigi, Vinny todavía me la pela, Santa Barbara County, Warishi blend at stateissuedcollection.com. Shut the F up and make it wink. A la verga 760, G-Ride, the prison psychologist, Fuerte 84, Zeus, Michigan Wolverines, Mr. Castle, Put Me Out 6 Self, AWOL like Monty, Cherokee Cat, Raider 62, L. Eli, Gerardo, Rigo SD, Pelon 1205, who's doing the pipe, Denise, the real McCoy, not the fake McCoy, JB Smooth, Salinas Valley Outdoors, 72 dead homies, CO, call the sergeant, it's not safe, Ricardo, Maladjusted, Ractoss 5.0, Carmine the Pitbull, EOP Whisper, F your 602, El Barto Puto, La Reina, Winston, Tony, Lead with Love, Albert 12 on the dead homies. LT keeps it 100. Big Uso D. Shout out to you, bro. J.I. Esquiel Nova, the retired CO, Michigan Wolverines, Chevelle 66. Hey, girl, pop me up so I can give you some OJT. Still standing, still fighting, never giving up, and the homie Rags. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you hit that link in the description below. You're definitely missing out. Love you guys. Happy Sunday. Keep pushing forward.